Hey everyone, I'm technically supposed to be on a break from the podcast, but I wanted to share a strategy my husband and I are using in December to prepare for 2021. In what I would consider a normal year, we would sit down and map out any travel or big events. We'd figure out our goals and what we want to accomplish for the upcoming year. We were having a hard time with this practice because 2021 is still very much up in the air as COVID-19 continues to progress, and at the time of this recording, a vaccine hasn't been administered. We didn't want COVID to slow down our growth or our energy and motivation around 2021, so we created two plans. The first plan is our ideal year with all our planned travel for work or pleasure. Along with mapping out those dates, we are also adding in dates of when a decision has to be made on whether that trip will happen. For example, we need to go to California to empty a storage unit. Not glamorous, but it needs to be done. Our plan is to go in late March or April. Our decision date is March 1st. It gives us enough time to determine if we are willing to travel and make all the necessary arrangements. The same goes for vacation travel. We would like to go to Aulani next year, but we don't want to go if our experience will be different than if we had gone pre-COVID. We aren't planning that trip until late 2021, so we have some time to figure it out. However, even if travel feels okay, but the experience will be different, then we will likely push back the trip. Our second plan is the contingency to our ideal plan. Basically, it's an if this happens, then we'll do this. In the case of the storage unit, we will have alternate dates planned, and in the case of our travel for vacation, we will have a few options throughout the year and go on to the next one if one falls through. In the case of Aulani, we will likely plan a trip to see family in California instead, assuming that we feel comfortable traveling at that time. If we don't feel comfortable traveling, we will plan a local excursion or something at home that we can do that will also be an alternative plan. In the case of the storage unit, because it's not a vacation, we will plan to do a home project we've been wanting to do but don't usually make time for. You know the ones. Similarly, for a vacation that gets put off, we might decide to still take vacation time to relax and recharge at home. Along with this alternate and parallel schedule we are creating, we still have our normal goals. Those don't change. These are our personal and professional goals. Since my husband travels to California for work, we might alter his goals, but he will still have them. 2020 has been a dumpster fire in some ways for most people and their goals, especially professional goals. As we have been reflecting back on 2020, our biggest frustration was the canceled plans and the standing still because we didn't know what else to do. While we still made progress in certain areas, we didn't accomplish as much as we had set out to do in other areas, which created a level of disappointment we don't want to repeat next year. 2021 will be different. We understand the pandemic life better and how we operate individually and as a couple. While we will still take it 1 week at a time, we are more prepared to manage the unknown in 2021 than we were in 2020. Clarity of goals that won't be impacted by the pandemic alongside goals that might be impacted is our number one action as we prepare in December and head into January. I recognize we are all in a different place in our life and career. While traveling is important to us for many reasons, whether you are interested or able to travel doesn't matter. What matters in this process is planning and being clear about expectations. Some schools are already remote through May, June 2021. How does this impact you? What if you aren't remote now but go remote in a month? What's your plan? Planning for as many possibilities going into 2021 will help take away some of the low-level anxiety that most of us are feeling. I will caution about not going too crazy with planning and contingency. Keep it basic, especially around travel, work, and school. Start there. Outline what changes could happen and how you want to handle them. Think about what help or resources you might need. Simple actions, such as finding the documentation from schools around their predicted protocol or having unemployment information ready if needed, will help you have a clear mind in the middle of chaos if it happens. Once you've taken care of basic travel, work, and school plans, outline holidays or special occasions and add in decision dates for each option. From a career lens, I did a bonus podcast episode last December where I outlined 3 professional goals you should have each year. Regardless of where you're at in your career, outlining these goals are still applicable for 2021. I'll link the episode and the fillable PDF in the show notes. If you have a family or a significant other, I highly recommend you do this process together so everyone is on the same page. Put reminders in an electronic calendar that will alert you when a decision has to be made. I know thinking about the future amidst the unknown is hard for some of us, and it can create debilitating anxiety that causes us to freeze instead of act. Believe me, it happened to me multiple times in 2020. I'm encouraging you today to act. Is it hard? Yes. Are there still unknowns? Absolutely. But you can make a choice to show up and face the unknown as best you can by being as prepared as possible. Thank you for joining me for this special bonus episode. If you're in a place in your career where you aren't sure where to go next, you feel lost, or maybe you just need to jumpstart as we head into 2021, check out my Career Hack Masterclass, a 5-part video series that will have you hacking your career for success in no time. As always, if you have any questions or would like to connect, you can find me at Ride the Tide Collective on Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook.